Greetings in the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and I would like to wish all teachers around the world a happy Teachers' Day. Now, Teachers' Day in India is celebrated or it is observed on the birthday of the President of India, Shri Radhakrishan, SRK as we would say. And many of you know SRK as Shah Rukh Khan, but there is the original SRK before this, that is Shri Radhakrishan. Now, the story goes as such: when Shri Radhakrishan became the President of India, some of his students and friends wanted to celebrate his birthday. And SRK said this in response to that. He said, "Instead of celebrating my birthday, it would be my proud privilege if September 5th is observed as Teachers' Day." And since then, 5th September is observed as Teachers' Day in India. Now, if you look at because Shri Radhakrishan himself was a teacher and a philosopher, we need to understand what did he teach. And he did not teach science or medicine. He was a person who taught the philosophy of religion, right? He was a philosopher who taught the philosophy of religion. But if you go back in the past in India, you would understand that teaching philosophy or teaching about religion was not a very beneficial thing for some people. For example, if a Shudra would teach a person of the low caste as per the Manusmriti, which is one of the sacred texts of the Hindu scriptures, if a person of the low caste would teach a high caste, then there was a consequence for that. And a person of the high caste, if he would teach a low caste, there would be a consequence to that. I'll just read the Manusmriti verse, because today, because of education and because of the internet, you can find out the verses. And so in Manusmriti verses 8.272, it says, "If a Shudra tries to teach the Brahmin his duty, then the king shall pour heated oil in his mouth and in his ears." This was the consequence of a Shudra teaching a Brahmin. On the other hand, if a Brahmin would teach in Manusmriti verses 4.80 to 81, in that context, we see that it says a Shudra is unfit to receive education. The upper caste or the upper varnas should not impart education and give advice to the Shudras. This was what is written over there, and it is not necessary that these people should know the laws and the codes, hence they need not be taught. And it says further, if a Brahmin teaches a Shudra, the violators of that will go to hell. So this was the thing. A Shudra couldn't teach a Brahmin couldn't teach the Shudra, because there were consequences, immediate consequences of heated oil in your mouth and your ears, and eternal consequences of you going to hell as per the Manusmriti. Now, in this particular worldview, a bunch of people come in, they say, "We believe in the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who loves all people, who believes that everybody is made, not some people are made from the head or from the feet, but all people are made in the image of God, the likeness of God, and God told everybody that you are the light of the world. You are the light of the world, and you are the salt of the earth." And therefore they started imparting education. Now, when the missionaries started giving food, started giving water, when they started giving clothes, it wasn't that controversial. But when they started imparting education, that is when things went haywire, right? Because they couldn't believe that somebody would impart education to the Shudras. But the impact of that was that we had great people from what was considered to be a low caste community, people like Ambedkar, who proved that the Manusmriti is false, but the life that he lived. He got 4 PhDs. And in fact, at the end of his life, we would see that Ambedkar, when he reads about the discriminatory the words in the Manusmriti against his own community, he would burn the copy of the Manusmriti on 25th December. 25th December, accidentally, or you could say incidentally, happens to be the day where Christians around the world celebrate the birth of the greatest teacher, the Sanathan Guru, the Sanathan Prabhu, the liberator, Jesus Christ. And so this was the day, this was the impact of teaching that made a person who was from a low caste into a person who was educated and who transformed the nation of India. On the other hand, if you just even look at Shri Radhakrishan's history, even he studied from a Lutheran Christian school, Evangelical Lutheran school, and he did his masters from Madras Christian College. In fact, he addresses one of the teachers over there, Professor Hoggs, as my distinguished teacher. and one of the greatest Christian thinkers in India. Now, I've not heard of Professor Hoggs until I've read the biography of Radhakrishna, but the impact that this man had is the reason probably in future Radhakrishna decided that teachers are the greatest mind that a country should have, and Teachers' Day should be celebrated. In fact, Professor William Skinner, who was a principal of that college, he gave a testimonial that Radhakrishna was one of the finest students that he had. And Radhakrishna, in response to that, when he got a job in Presidency College after that, Radhakrishna dedicated one of his earliest books to his teacher, the principal, William Skinner. So these people were influential. It was Christians who gave education without discrimination, without any boundaries. So if people like Radhakrishna and people like Ambedkar, who were helpful in making instrumental in changing the mind or changing the nation, they would not be even there, or Teachers' Day would not be even celebrated if it wasn't because of the impact of the Christian missionaries who believed in giving education to all, in enabling all people, and believed that all people are made in the image of God and the likeness of God. And they did this because they believed in the greatest teacher of all teachers, who commanded them to go and preach and go and teach, and that is the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. So today the access to education is for all, and today I would also like to invite people on Teachers' Day to dedicate your life to the greatest teacher, who can only teach you how to be a great teacher, and that is the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And on this Teachers' Day, may God help you to be a great teacher and change the shape of the nation. Have a happy Teachers' Day.